There are a lot of people here and not enough chairs. Okay, so I can pop over here into my SharePoint, do a little refresh, excuse me. There are a lot of people here and not enough chairs. Now, some other cool things here on the SharePoint, just to point out really quick, you might also notice this is a live camera feed from my office. I was actually trying to set up a live camera feed from here, but some problems with connection on the wireless. I couldn't quite get that to fly. So I had James run back and throw the camera in the office and start it. Go, go, go. You know. And so he did that. And so there's my desk. It's clean. Take a picture. With the timestamp. This is live. Student Affairs Admin Office. So these kinds of things, like what this cost me, like the software was maybe $30. And suddenly we've got a web page with dynamic content that I can update right now.
Is that part of UK's thing?
Yes, SharePoint is a UK thing. Actually, one of the SharePoint admins is here with us. I won't give his name right yet because he might kill me, but if you want to talk about SharePoint, come and talk to me. So let's update Twitter. There we go. Let's see. Now let's go ahead and just refresh here. If they can possibly get it, well, here it is. You know, this is right now. So these are things that, you know, like I said, the cost of all this was the cost for that webcam software. That's it. That's all that was paid for. So what else can we talk about as far as getting our content to our students? Oop. I guess I should be on my slide before I hit forward. Mobile sites. Now, we've been talking about data immersion, videos, pictures, blogs, all kinds of wild stuff. But in reality, phones and mobile browsers are gaining strength, but not nearly as powerful as pretty much any computer browser. For instance, my PSP. It has a very, very stripped-down version of a web browser on it. Now, I can pull up pretty much any website on here, except the problem with that is a lot of them won't work because they're media rich, and frankly, the screen's not that big. It's hard to read. It's difficult to deal with. So, you know, I can instead view a mobile site, which is simply a stripped down version of the site we were looking at. So earlier we were looking at SharePoint. Let's go back and look at SharePoint again. So this is the SharePoint site. It's rich. It's got a lot of content. We got a lot of stuff going on. Now let's look at that same SharePoint site. One of the cool things that SharePoint does is for every website that you set up in SharePoint, it develops a mobile version automatically. This is all part of the automation that we really need to focus on going forward. Is we need to take put the work on the machine and not let us have to worry about maintaining two different, before we would have had to maintain a mobile website and another, a real content website. But here I can do everything. Oh, look at that. Here's the brief description of my student affairs development meeting, and I can go into that text only, very simple, easy to browse on a cell phone. So
this is what you see on a cell phone or the PSP?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And simply, it's just simply going to whatever the website is in SharePoint. Like, for instance, ours is sharepoint.uky.edu/studentaffairs, and then you can go to /m, and it will take you to the mobile version of that site. So, /m, and it redirects to this mobile site. So, while we are talking about media richness and content diversity and all those kinds of fun things, one of the things we need to think about is the limits of technology. We have all this cool technology, but there are limits. And the cell phone browsers, the mobile browsers that are out, those are kind of the current limits. I can also access my shared documents where I have the student affairs presentation as well as the Google Earth map there that can be downloaded. So let's go back and talk about. Okay, so that's sort of the idea behind a mobile site, is a stripped down version. The other thing is that frankly it's hard to enter stuff in this. It's hard, and sometimes it's hard to enter stuff in a cell phone when you're having to type with a keypad. Now, predictive text is great, but typically when you're putting in a URL, predictive text doesn't work. So, you have to say, W, wait, W, wait, you get the idea. It takes a long time. So, this group came up with an ingenious idea, tinyurl.com. Tinyurl.com will take whatever website you want and make it tiny. Pretty self-explanatory. So here, see before, if I were to go to this in, let's say, a cell phone, I would have to type in http SharePoint UKYE/studentaffairs/m. It's a lot of stuff. That's probably 80, or say I wanted to post this on my Twitter. Twitter limits to 140 characters, not one more. So this is probably 80-some characters of my 140 character post. That's more than half my blog right there. Well, wouldn't it be better if it was this? And it is. So, if we go to, I've already done this. If we go to tinyurl.com/this, if you go to tinyurl.com, we'll go through it. It takes us straight to the mobile site. So if we go, I'll just show you exactly what I'm talking about. tinyurl.com. Make a long URL tiny. And all you have to do is pick, let's pick the student affairs site. Pop that into tinyurl. Paste. Let's make that tiny. Yeah, we're going to allow access to my clipboard. So there's our tiny URL. tinyurl.com/ASBOX3. You know what? I'm going to send that out on my Twitter. You guys should really check. I can't type. SharePoint. Boop. Update. And so now anyone that follows me just got this tiny URL linked to our SharePoint. Easy peasy. These expire, I think, after, gosh, I can't recall the length of time. It's quite a while. It's well over a month or 2 months before they expire. So typically, and again, if you want to talk about live content, by then your month is 100 posts ago. So, and if you think that I post a lot on Twitter, I really haven't posted that much. However, one of my buddies, he posts pretty proficiently, 1,694 Twitter updates. You name somebody that has that many blogs, you're not going to find them. Or if you do, they'll be in their house blogging. Okay, so okay, so we have all these cool technologies, all this new stuff. This is all kind of the things our students are looking to do. What happens when those things go away? This slide kind of has a lot of information. These are quotes out of a journal called The Future of Children. This is an article called Online Communication and Adolescent Relationships. And some of the things they talked about are the uses of teen text messaging, which I thought were actually pretty interesting. Chatting, of course. Planning events. Coordinating communication was the third most popular thing. And you think, well, that's having conversations about having conversations. That seems silly. But then you think about all the time that you spend emailing about meetings. You're